Hello, my name is Alexandra and I have a problem. This past week, I spent on average 6 hours on my phone and 3 of those hours were on social media. I thought that by not using my phone for a week, I'd fix or help my internet habits and screen time, but here we are. I spent the past few weeks debating on whether or not I should take the plunge and just delete social media. And based on this scenario, I'm doing the thing. Here are my main reasons. Clearly, spending 3 hours a day on Twitter and Instagram is not healthy. I started to obsess over stats, all those things, and I started to do things for the sake of doing them, just like, oh, I have to post today because I haven't posted in X amount of days, and also doing things that I thought would do well for the algorithm or whatever that means, and it's just so dumb. My eyesight is also deteriorating, and my sleep is getting worse. I'm doing 30 days because I didn't think a week would do anything in the long run, and 2 weeks felt awkward, so might as well just make it a month. And here we are. I'm gonna delete social media for 30 days. Someone pray for me. Me. Okay, here are my general rules. Number 1, no social media in any form. This includes, but is not exclusive to, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Snapchat, and Pinterest. I was a little bit hesitant on Pinterest because I use Pinterest a lot for inspiration, but I also wanted to focus on finding my own inspiration this month rather than constantly consuming things, so ultimately I'm still putting on Pinterest. 2, I'm allowed to text and email, so I'm not cutting myself off completely from people because that would suck. I'm just not using social media. 3, blogging and YouTube is also okay. I'm actually focusing more on blogging and YouTube for the next month because I'm not using social media, so still making and creating things. 4, give people a heads up so they don't think I just ghosted them and disappeared from the face of the internet because that would suck. And lastly, my one exception is Subtle Asian Book Club. I'm gonna schedule all the discussion posts that I need to post beforehand, but I'm still gonna participate in the last Sunday discussion, and that is before my 30 days is over, but it's towards the end of the month. I still want to participate in the book club, and it's just that we're using Facebook as a platform for the book club. Okay. I'm honestly so terrified. I guess it feels like it's not a big thing for most people, but for me, I can't remember the last time I didn't use social media. This is probably before Instagram was created, which was, I saw in a recent tweet, 10 years ago. I've been on Instagram since Instagram started. It's a really big part of my life, and I'm really like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself, which is also pretty sad because it's like, do you have a personality aside from using Instagram? I also never felt a form of FOMO until I thought of doing this thing. I think my main fear is that I will no longer want to post on social media after this experiment, and or nobody will care about me. That's like such a stupid thing to okay, that's like such a stupid thing to say out loud, but then it's like I'm no longer relevant, and that's also an irrational fear because I think of The Fault in Our Stars and how Augustus is like, my greatest fear is to be forgotten or something along those lines, and then Hazel is like, you fear the inevitable because there's gonna be one day where all of us are dead, no one remembers anyone of anything. These are worst case scenarios, and I feel like not much is going to change in terms of numbers or internet spaces, but then I think the big change for me would probably be my mentality towards social media and then how I go on after. Let's hope for the best. That being said, let's do the things and delete the apps. First one to go is going to be Twitter. Oh god. And then Instagram. Pinterest. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna go on Snapchat. Tell people goodbye. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now Facebook, GTV, Tumblr. Goodreads is not a social media. I'm using Goodreads to update my reading. Watch as week 3 comes by and I'm so deprived from social media that I'm using Goodreads as my social media app. I'm gonna delete Reddit just to be safe. Okay. I feel a sense of calm and like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders because I've been wanting to do this for so long, but also really terrified. We'll see how it goes. Onwards and upwards, friends.
A few moments later.
I actually lied in that I have to install Instagram later because so I'm a little frustrated because I had this all planned out and I was supposed to post a sponsored post on March 1st. Today is March 3rd, by the way, but it got delayed in the approval process. So after that post goes up, then I was gonna post my goodbye social media post the day after. Even though I deleted my Instagram app, I still have to install it later, publish the post, and then I'll delete it. And then tomorrow, hopefully, I'm gonna install Instagram again, post my goodbye post, delete it completely, and can be completely free of social media. Just wanted to give you a heads up. We'll see how it goes.
2 very boring minutes later.
Okay, I'm back again. It's been like 2 minutes and I was on my phone checking my emails and I closed my Gmail app and I instinctively wanted to open Twitter before realizing that's not a thing I can do anymore. You see, this is the problem I have. Jesus, what am I gonna do? Live? I guess. Day 1 of not using social media and I already accidentally went on Instagram. Downloading this, which is a website blocker. Awesome. Okay, yes. I've successfully blocked Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and Pinterest. I'm downloading Instagram again because my post has finally been approved. Oh my god. Okay, I can't. I'm trying not to look at anything and just upload things. Okay. I'm not gonna scroll. Bro, stop. Can't look at this. Stop it. Friends, I want to talk to you. Okay, you know what? I'm actually really sad. I really miss you guys. Okay, we managed. Tomorrow, I'm gonna post on social media telling everyone that I am no longer in social media and then I will feel like a free bird. It's March 6th. Here we are again, downloading Instagram, waiting for my coffee or the coffee machine to heat up. Also gonna post on Twitter. Oh my god, okay, I'm trying very hard not to respond to anyone and it's making me very sad. I'm trying very hard not to look. Posted and done. Okay, did the thing. Fan-freaking-tastic. Now, time to make my coffee. Alrighty, I survived and did not combust after a week of not using social media. Go me! So far, instead of going on social media, I've just been playing on my Switch a lot, which isn't really helping because I'm still being unproductive, but then I feel like it's a lot more calming because I've been playing Stardew Valley and just feel so much more chill and at peace with myself. My default apps so far have been Gmail, New York Times, YouTube Studio, and that's about it. I just keep checking my emails and I can't really stop. I've been on YouTube a lot, but I don't think that's such a bad thing because the videos that I'm watching are all super chill. New York Times has been really brutal. I don't know if it's healthy to be consuming that much news at a time like this. Still been talking and interacting with my friends via text and also calling, which is really nice. Shout out to my friends who are taking screenshots of memes and sending them to me. I feel so loved. Also, what I've realized from this past week and just not sharing everything on social media is that social media is truly just a highlights reel. There's so much that isn't shared online and I've been reminded of that by not sharing things myself. I'm learning how to live my life without publicizing everything and acknowledging that things that you see on social media are not always the whole picture. It's something that people know, but that it's good to remind yourself, and this was a good reminder. I think week 1 would have the biggest change just because it's so sudden and getting into it, and the next few weeks would be a little bit more relaxing. I'm actually really happy and excited that I decided to do this for a month versus just a week. Much as I miss Instagram, it's really nice to have time for yourself to just do things without a lot of judgment or pressure. Really off odd because it's not like Instagram or Twitter or any of like social platforms really give me a lot of pressure, but then I don't know, it's so weird. Those are my week 1 thoughts.
2 weeks later.
I'm kind of in the mood to light some candles. This past couple of days I've been lighting this New York City candle a lot because I miss New York and it makes me homesick. But first of all, this does not smell like New York. New York smells like sweaty trash. So I have this Los Angeles candle. I light this candle. Today is Monday, March 23rd, and the 3rd week. This past week has felt like a straight up dystopian novel because the coronavirus has actually just overtaken the US, the rest of the world as well. I've been social distancing, isolated. Like, I'm extremely isolated at this moment. I realized how wild it is that I decided to do a social media detox while the world is doing its own form of social isolation detox thing. I'm doing surprisingly great. I am honestly really glad that I decided to do this at this time. It seems like the internet would be a sucky place to be right now. I was talking to a friend and she was like, you can do it, you're almost done. Honestly, it's not hard. Doing this social media detox is not difficult because I've already set the barriers. I've uninstalled the apps. Once I know that there's a barrier there, I don't feel like, oh, this is so hard for me to be off Instagram. It's really not that difficult. The most difficult part is truly the first initial uninstalling and blocking and the fear and anxiety of missing out, which I don't think I'm missing out on much. Here's another thing that I forgot to mention. I've gotten to the point where I feel like I don't know how to post on Instagram or post on social media anymore. It's only been 3 weeks, but it feels like it's been so long and so much has changed. I initially said one of my fears was that I would no longer want to post on Instagram. In a way, it's kind of come true. Like, I don't really care for it anymore, but we will see how I actually feel next week when I actually reinstall it. I think I've reached the point where there's a layer of membrane in between myself and my mindless scrolling, which does not exist anymore. I'm so proud of myself, and all I did was delete the apps. Here's to another week. You guys, it's 12:20 on April 2nd, which means it's been 30 days since I deleted social media. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna share my final thoughts and then we're gonna download Instagram together. So, what I've concluded is that 1, I have obsessive habits and I don't think social media is going to stop it. But also using social media definitely does make it worse. Even though I'm not on Instagram or anything, I have started to turn to other things to obsess over. Specifically, New York Times and also YouTube Studio and then occasionally YouTube. But also, number 2, I'm growing to learn that it's okay to consume things and it's okay to use your phone. When I initially started this whole thing, I was like, using your phone is such a negative thing, but your phone is kind of great. It's so useful. You can use it to interact with people. After starting this whole social media thing, I've grown to be more comfortable with creating barriers for myself. I'm okay with uninstalling the app, giving myself some space, which I think everyone should learn to do. And this isn't even just for obsessive app usage. This is more so for in just general daily stuff. When I feel myself overworking or doing something too much to the point where it becomes unhealthy, I'm more comfortable with creating barriers and being like, okay, this is when I need to stop. And I've learned to do that by creating a huge barrier for social media. And I feel like everyone should learn how to do that or should know how to do that, but I don't think many people do. And so, main conclusion, everyone would benefit from a few days, a week, a couple of weeks, or a month off of social media. And I feel like you would benefit, especially at a time like this. If a week seems too intimidating, you can try a couple of days, because I felt it right away where I felt like lighter, freer, a weight has been lifted off my shoulders and I can just breathe and do things without a weird sense of pressure, which is odd because you would think that Instagram or Twitter or anything does not give you that feeling, but it does, or it did for me. And with that being said, time for me to download Instagram. If I'm being totally honest, I would be okay with extending this detox. I've reached the point where I'm okay without Instagram, but at the same time, it'd be nice to be back. So we're still doing the thing. Okay, I'm kind of terrified, but also really excited. You can see it on my face. I'm just so excited, but also so scared. Okay. Okay, I'm really scared. I don't know why I'm scared. This is a little bit worse than when I was deleting these apps. I kinda don't want to look. I don't know why I don't want to look. I feel like I'm gonna be overwhelmed by numbers. Okay, I liked someone's post. Oh, okay, I'm posting. I'm writing I've missed y'all, but if I'm being real, I did not miss Instagram that much. I missed my friends though. I feel like my attitude towards social media is much different now because I just went on Twitter and I was like, good, and left. Like, what? Hooray, I can interact with people in Subtle Asian Book Club without feeling like some guilt. This book club is my child. I realized that nothing has changed. In terms of numbers, not much has changed, which is not surprising. Or like everything's in the negatives because I haven't been posting. I'm okay with that. She's back on social media. If you ever feel like you need a social media break, now is your time. Moving forward, I'd probably take small breaks. If I do feel myself going back into my unhealthy habits, I would definitely feel comfortable with just deleting the app and then coming back a few days later if I feel that's necessary and just making small changes. I wouldn't do something as extreme as another 30-day social media detox, but now I'm back on Instagram, living that self-isolation lifestyle without being socially isolated. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye! I don't know, I just feel better. Okay.